Hello everyone, Crash here, this is RTA Motorsports. Today we're going to be testing the Float Life's new 5-inch MTE hub. Here we go. Alright everyone, so just so you know how I am as a rider, I am a 235-pound Clydesdale rider. I only do one race throughout the year at Seek and Shred. I'm not really an overly fast rider or anything like that, but I think if you are a similar body type to me, or just in general, if you have a Onewheel GT and you're thinking about putting that N52, the high torque hub on your Onewheel GT, I think you're going to get a lot of good information from me in regards to not only the feel, but possibly does it actually give you more torque. Here we go. All right, so this section here, the Onewheel GT S series, I was able to actually make it down to about here, just turn and then nose up, right up this hill here, without any issues. I didn't have any haptic buzz or anything. I'd never been able to make it up this with the GT. And you can see my GT's all the way back there. I'm gonna try to give it a little bit of a run up to get up here. Let's see. I'm not really expecting it to be able to do it even with the MTE hub. I am noticing better torque response, but also the ground's a little wet too. Let's give it even further run up. All right, there we go. It was a little shaky there. But we made it. Just need to get proper amount of run up. Okay, so far on that short bit of trails that we did, I can tell you overall with the MTE hub and the Enduro 555 tire by the Float Life, I'm noticing that there is an increase in torque. Is it Onewheel S series? No, it's not, but it is there and you actually can feel it. I could still hit 20 miles an hour, although the nose feels more firmer. That took me a little bit to actually get used to. At 18.7, I'm feeling the nose kind of firm up, and actually, after a while of getting used to it, it feels more supportive. So it does feel a little bit more confidence inspiring once you get used to it, because normally at 20, it feels pretty spongy, especially around my weight of 235. And normally I have to feather it quite a bit. So it actually felt a little bit better, a little bit more firm, and I could still hit 20. So that's awesome. But on top of that, climbing little things, it actually does perform better. I feel like I can hit it at a slightly higher speed, but the ruts is kind of where it comes in. A lot of roots, a lot of ruts that normally skip my feet around the foot pads. I'm not noticing really any of that. Overall, it feels a lot smoother of an experience all around, which also allows me to ride a little bit longer than I normally do before I really need a break. I could tell that a lot of the rut sections that normally kill my legs, they were drastically smoother. So let's hit this last section here and see how we are. But overall, you know, smoothing out the ruts is just gonna make for more of a safer experience too, besides also not killing your legs as much. Less of a chance of you getting skipped off the board. Oh yeah. I've always wanted a board with suspension. I kind of feel like this is a good middle ground. These ruts are crazy. It pulled me up that just fine. And the ruts were nowhere near as bad as they usually feel. But yeah, I always wanted a board with suspension. I kind of feel like this is a good middle ground. Almost like a compromise between suspension and the 6.5. Absolutely awesome. I'm loving this hub setup, this 5-inch hub. with the 555 Enduro. Honestly, I didn't think I would like this Enduro tire, this profile, because I always want a more stable tire. I want something flatter, more stable. But this feels really stable when going straight, like really stable. But then it makes the board just feel lighter when you want to turn. That's the best way I could describe it. The board is easier to actually maneuver. It doesn't feel squirrely at all though. It doesn't feel like the board wants to get away from you, like as if you're riding on a tire profile that is conducive to just, you know, doing wobbles. It doesn't feel that way. It's a very strange middle ground where it's super stable but yet very maneuverable, and really it just makes the board feel lighter in its overall maneuverability. So I am really digging this tire profile. It actually surpassed my expectations by quite a bit. But this 555 paired with this hub, it is such the move to go. This is nice. Our trails that we have here are normally very rutted out, especially after this past year. And recently, riding my Onewheel here as well as the GTS series with the 6.5-inch hub, it's you feel it. You feel how sharp those ruts are. And then going to this, the ruts are like not a problem. It's absolutely incredible. It just crawls over things like roots and everything like that. It's surprising. It really is. All right, hopefully you enjoyed that. If you have any additional questions, please leave them down in the comment box below, and hopefully you are subscribed to the channel and hit that like button. It helps me out more than you could ever know. So one thing I want to cover here is the installation. Now, I did the install myself because I felt like a product like this, I wanted to see if it's something that I could actually do. I am mechanically inclined. I do have a lot of these tools myself, but honestly, it was within an hour, and that was total time, including mounting the new 555 tire and setting the bead. Doing everything took just under an hour for me. And honestly, I wasn't rushing. I was taking my time. It really was not that bad at all. But if you do feel that this is something beyond that you want to mess with, I do have a great contact. His name is Justin. He owns Fix My PEV. I'm going to have his website down below. He's a local rider and he owns a shop here locally. And honestly, I've had him do pretty much all the work in the past to all my Onewheels, and he's been absolutely great. And I'm sure he could help you out if you want to do something like this or anything really to your Onewheel. So definitely reach out to him. But everyone, again, if you have any further questions regarding my experiences here, please leave them in the comment box below. Just to wrap up, I will say the increase in torque is definitely noticeable with the N52. It is there. It is something you could experience and actually feel. I felt like it did pull me up hills a little bit more. I felt like at the top end, reaching 20 miles an hour, the nose was a little bit firmer. But is it going to make it like a Onewheel S series, the GTS series? No, the GTS series is a different animal. The power is much stronger with that one. And honestly, if you haven't seen that last video, definitely check it out. I experienced no torque beep at all on these trails, whereas you could hear during this ride, and it's not really a crazy ride. I'm not really trying to set any land speed records or anything like that, but I experienced it a few times here. The Onewheel GTS series, there was zero. I'm sure if I learned that board and learned the ins and outs of it, I'll know how much more I could push it and I could go faster in that sense. But I was not there yet. It was just a board that was lent to me once, and it's a board I don't have experience with in knowing how to push it. But I gotta say, this 5-inch MTE hub and the 555 tire absolutely incredible combo. I thought I would want big, wide, stable, super stable tires on my Onewheel GT. I always try to say I want something more stable as far as, you know, when I'm doing drops or going through rutted trails that can kind of knock the board back and forth. This 555 blew my mind, and I'm not the only one. Actually, another local rider to me and a good friend of mine, Matt, experienced the exact same thing. This tire feels crazy stable when you're going straight, but when you go to turn, it actually just makes your board feel lighter, if that makes any sense. It is more nimble, but it doesn't feel squirrely at all. It's just when you're trying to initiate the turns, it just wants to turn. So initiating toe side turns, which is normally harder for me than heel side, is actually a lot easier now. But yet I don't feel like I'm sacrificing stability at all. It's the weirdest thing, kind of blew my mind. And honestly, I think I'm just gonna stay with this tire even when the wider ones come out. I think honestly, this tire is the move to make with this type of build. Mind blown, absolutely great job, the Float Life TFL crew, you're killing it. Everyone, I'm gonna close it up here. Stay safe, stay happy. I'll catch you in the next one.